Hey guys, it's Karl. So just kind of getting back from another hectic travel schedule. I think I was gone last month, close to 3 weeks out of the 4. So I actually just kind of realized in this tech travel pack, a lot of the tech is kind of black, like a blackout theme. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of go through all of that. Black, just like the color, like my soul, it's my favorite color. It also just keeps all the stuff a bit cleaner because when you're traveling, stuff gets a bit dinged up, a bit dirty. Black helps hide those blemishes. So we'll start off first with the pack, which I've just got off camera here. So I think you guys know DB Journey, previously called douchebags. They're my favorite packs to kind of grab. This one is their 26 liter Ramvirke Pro. And the reason why I go for this over the 21 is because I rock a 16-inch MacBook Pro, which we'll get to. That's actually the perfect size for it to fit in this laptop sleeve. I find that the 21 liter is just a bit too on the small side. So I think this one is still perfect, still nice and compact, that lets you haul around your gear. It isn't too big, it isn't too heavy. And of course, it's got that iconic DB look to it. On the inside compartment, you can actually see I've got a couple masks as I still wear those when I fly on the inside, and you have one large compartment to hold most of your gear. So typically I've got my camera in here. You do have some nice compartment slots up top to hold just little things like passports, anything that I just have free floating in the bag. And overall, it's just a solid pack. What I really like about it, it has that nice nylon finish on the outside, so you can easily just wipe this off. And like I mentioned, the 26 liter perfectly slots in a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I think I've mentioned which model that I've been using, and I actually just switched to this month because my M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro, which is actually right behind me, had so many old projects I was trying to finish off. Those are finally done, and I have finally made the switch to my M2 Max. So this is one of the highest specs. It's got 96 gigs of RAM, and obviously to fit into the blackout theme, I've just got a the brand skin on the top in the black carbon. It just keeps the laptop nice and safe. Like I said, when you're traveling, when you're on the go, you just kind of throw this into your bag. You never know if there might be something that might scratch against it. As you can see, my nails actually just did a bit of a number on that carbon fiber. That's keeping the actual aluminum protected and just puts the blemish on a $15, $20 skin. So super, super handy, and it keeps everything nice and blacked out. The second main piece of my kit that's of course blackout is my camera. That's what I shoot all the content on. So we're still recording on a couple cams right now. This is the third that I bring with me. It's a Sony a7S III. It needs no further introduction. And because I've been traveling a lot, the 16 to 35, because I've been doing a couple vlogs, has been locked on this camera body. The lens that I would probably recommend if you could only choose one, still in that blackout theme, is the 24 to 105. It is an f4, but it does have optical steady shot. It's just nice and smooth, has that extra focal range. It gets nice and excited when it's all the way peaked out to 105. And unless you need that 16 mil to around that 20-ish for a vlog style, you could probably get by with just the 24 to 105. Obviously depends what you're doing with your social stuff. So talking about the kit that I shoot on, typically 4K 60 is my preferred option, just so I can slow things down. We do record things in S-Log, provide a bit of a LUT over top. The memory cards are probably the biggest bottleneck that most people fall short in. You can have, you know, the best gear, the best computer, but if you have slow SD cards, your transfer rates might be 20, 30 minutes depending how large your files are. So typically each of these videos is what, maybe around 70 to 100 gigs. That transfer speed on slower cards, if I don't have the time, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes. These two cards are kind of money, so these are the big upgrades that I think you guys should check out. Lexar has been hooking up all my SD card games, so this one fits into the first slot. It's a CF Express Type A card. It's the fastest card that you can use for a Sony. This thing gets up to 900 megabits per second, so super, super quick. This one is 160 gigs, and if I want to switch to something that has a bit more storage, a bit slower of a read time, but still nice and quick, 256 gigs, 270 megabits per second. This is their gold card, a standard SD card size, whereas this one is the CF Express Type A. You will need a little dongle to connect it. Obviously, Lexar has their own. And like I mentioned, both of these have just made my workflow so much easier, so much quicker. Typically, when we're shooting on the go, you only have 10, 15 minutes to transfer files when you're hanging out at an airport, when I've got a couple free minutes in a hotel. You just want to get that footage onto a computer as quick as possible. So if you're spending the money on a pricey camera, on a pricey laptop, invest into an SD card, as you never want that to be your bottleneck. And talking about storage, because I churn through so much content, I feel like I'm constantly recording. I know that MacBooks don't have the cheapest storage inside. I always stick to that base storage option. Lexar is once again hooking it up with their portable SSD. So this is technically a gaming portable SSD just because of the read and write speeds, around 2000 megabits per second on both, which is pretty ridiculous. I've got this in a 1 terabyte option. So even if I'm away for a month, it is a struggle to fill one of these up, but we carry 2 just in case. Once again, just kind of rock this as part of your kit. You never want to run out of storage on your main computer. So switching to phones, funnily enough, I was a bit worried of not finding any Blackout phones, but successfully I've been rocking 2 actually. So this of course is just the iPhone 14 Plus. If you don't need the Pro device, if you don't need ProMotion, if you don't need the little pill cutout Dynamic Island, which I still think somewhat a bit of a gimmick, the 14 Plus has the best battery life. And if you want to talk about Android, the best folding phone on the market right now has to be the Oppo Find N2 Flip. So I was just in Barcelona doing a photography tour with this exact phone. It's the best flipping phone on the market. Like, it is so much better than the Samsung Galaxy Flip 4. The crease is nice and seamless, you barely see it, and it's got a nice and large cover display, which is probably one of the biggest I've seen on a flipping phone. Oppo is really on point with their flipping and even folding phones. The Find N2, just the standard folding phone, is another solid powerhouse, and I think Samsung needs to up their flipping and folding game to match what Oppo has. Both, of course, in that blackout colorway. Technically, the iPhone is in a colorway called Midnight, which is a really deep and dark inky blue, but it's pretty much black to most people's eyes. Moving on to the audio stuff, which I like to carry around. So this is the Marshall Willen. It's one of the smallest Bluetooth speakers, but perfect for being on the go. Still packs a decent punch if I'm editing, say in my hotel room. If I hit up the hotel pool, I just want to bump some music. It's nice and small that it isn't too bulky, it doesn't take up too much space. And like I said, packs a decent amount of sound. And of course, to my in-ear headphones, these are the Marshall Motifs. They're essentially AirPod Pros, but with a Marshall form factor. They've got a really nice design, and they've got these really handy neural tips, which make it easier to grab. They fit perfectly into the ear. They're active noise canceling, and they come in this nice little case, both once again by Marshall. I was just with them in South by Southwest, so shoutouts to them. On to some pretty key accessories. Once again, all seem to be in that blackout theme, so I'll go from right to left here. So obviously, I'm using the Logitech MX Master 3S, made specifically for Mac. This does come in 3 colorways. Obviously, you got to get the blackout one. It's the most comfortable mouse that you can get. I know that they are releasing the MX Master 4 this year, so Logitech, I will keep my eye out. This is still the best mouse that you can get for $100. If you're on the go all the time, check out a little Belkin portable battery pack. I like it because it has the 2 little power cords built in. You never need to worry about carrying extra cords. So it does have one for iOS, of course that's Lightning, and USB-C on the other side. It's got 10,000 milliamps of juice, so you can charge a phone, a smaller device a couple times, or even if your camera is running low on battery, you can still juice it up to get through a day's shoot. Moving on to the Manfrotto mini tripod. Once again, a staple in all of my tech stuff. It's just great that you can use this as a little mini tripod for a camera. For a phone, it's in blackout, it's $25. And a pen, which I kind of saw, which is funny. I love stationery. This one I actually got from a Samsung Galaxy event like 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm not too familiar with this brand, L-A-M-Y, Lamy. A lot of you messaged me when I first got this pen. It's a pretty popular stationery brand. I actually saw them in the Frankfurt and Munich airport, made in Germany. It's a solid quality pen, and if you're into your stationery game, this one's probably limited edition as it has Galaxy on the pen. So all of those accessories, once again, are kind of floating around free in my pack, and I wanted something to keep them a bit more organized. Once again, DB is kind of coming to the rescue. This is made for that. It's called the Tech Travel Organizer. This thing fits all of those accessories into it, so they're not floating around in my larger said pack. It's got these great little zippers, so smaller things like pens, the SD cards can fit in, and also the battery packs can just kind of slot in as well. It can keep my mini tripod, it can keep phones, it can keep speakers, everything nice and compact into one little kit. It's got this nice little handle that you can also carry, and with all DV stuff, it has this nice locking system, so you can choose to lock this to the outside of your pack, or you can do what I do and just keep it inside the Ramvirke. And you still have more than enough room to still throw in your camera or any other gear. And if you want to keep things ultra light, say for the day, you can actually leave the backpack at home and just carry around some of your essentials with this on a day shoot. So super, super dope. The last Blackout thing that I was actually using is this guy, once again, in a black water bottle. It seems like I have all my stuff in black. This is the Lark water bottle, and what makes this cool, it has this little built-in filter to the top of the cap here. It's UV based, so it just makes your water obviously a bit safer to drink. Most countries that I travel to, you can obviously still drink their tap water, but if I just want to keep it super safe, just kind of screw this guy on when I get to the place, and the next day I've got nice and filtered water, and of course it's in a blackout colorway. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the blackout or midnight theme. I will leave all stuff listed down below. I'll try to give one of the items away. I know that I've got a couple extra Marshall speakers, so just make sure you're subbed to the channel. Leave that one comment down below. Don't fall for any of the YouTube spam, and hope you guys enjoyed my blackout series. Maybe I'll try to create like an orange series next, because I think you all know that I'm a big fan of orange, but this was Blackout. I'll catch the rest of you in one of my next episodes. Peace.